In this video, we're going to look at the Korg Volca Modular. This time, we're going to dive into a very basic self-generative patch. I'm sure there's other methods to do this, but this is just an easy one to kind of start you off. In this video, I'm not going to cover all of the modules that are on here. I'm planning on doing that in later videos in the series. So when I'm going over this, if you have no idea what I'm doing, feel free to watch the first video in the series found in the description below. So first off, we're going to wire in to create an LFO type loop here. An LFO is just a low frequency oscillator. So we're going to put a wire and connect the output of the end trigger. It's the far right one. And then this is going to go all the way to the upper left. So we just created a loop and we can change the shape and the time of that loop. Now we want this loop to be routed out from the positive output, which is the far left one right here. And we want that to trigger what's called the Woggle module. So the trigger on the Woggle module, it's right up here, and that's going to be the lower left input. Now if I turn this, you can actually see these values in the lights right here. So you can see that they're changing based off of how I turn this, the shape and the time. Now this may appear to be somewhat of a randomizer, but it's actually called sample and hold. In other words, when we trigger this, it's going to step according to what waveform that it's sampling from. So since we don't have a wire going into the sample section, which is the upper left input, it's going to be based on a noise signal that we actually can't hear. And now there's two outputs on this module. The upper right one is stepped. So in other words, it's going to be like stair steps. The bottom right one is smooth. So in other words, it's just going to be kind of waves connecting each of those triggers of the sample and hold module. We're going to wire the top stepped output right down here to C, which is the knob here. So this knob's going to be able to change the amount of what we see here to whatever is going to go out to. So if we turn this knob, it's going to affect the amount that's going to be sent through the outputs here. Now we're going to wire this into the bottom output, which is the smooth one. And that's going to go into this module here. This is the low pass filter. So if we put it in the very middle one, it's going to be the signal. So as you can hear, now we're hearing a tone. So I'm going to just turn it down a little bit for now. So as you can see, now it's affecting it. We can change it, make it longer or shorter. And that'll change the shape of the time. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. So now that we have that going, it's kind of like just generating the different lengths of the notes. But now what I want to do is wire out from the a+bxc output, the one that we have the knob in, and that's going to go right into the pitch of the oscillator, which is the far left input right here. So what we can do is change the amount, or the pitch will vary based off of this by turning that knob, and let's just turn it up a little. So now we can hear what's going on. It's just pretty high right now. Let's turn down the knob. So there we go. Now we have a little self-generating patch here. So let's turn up the reverb a little bit, just to give it a little bit of extra effect. And what I'm going to do is do one more wire. Now we're going to plug this wire into the output of the a-bxc. And that's going to go into the time knob. So that's going to vary the time just a little bit here, depending on that knob turn, as you can see. So now we can change that time, and we can change the shape. So it's just going to add just a little more variation here into what we already have going on. So now that that's set up, I'm just going to play around with the knobs and just do a little demo, just so you can hear what can come out of this specific patching.